Did you know your odds of being struck and killed by an asteroid in your lifetime is higher than winning the lottery jackpot? Significantly higher too, considering individual odds for winning just once is over 1 in 200 million. So just what are the chances of Joan R. Ginther winning the multi-million-dollar jackpot a stunning 4 times? Statistically speaking, it's nearly impossible. Yet, here she is, first winning 5.4 million, followed by 2 million a decade later, then 3 million 2 years later, and finally, if that wasn't enough, winning an astounding $10 million in 2008. Surviving one nuclear attack is a miracle, but how about surviving 2 consecutive nuclear attacks? Nagasaki resident Tsutomu Yamaguchi was on business in Hiroshima when the city was devastatingly bombed in 1945. Blessed, he was unharmed and able to return to Nagasaki and his family the very next day. He quickly returned to work on August 9th, the exact day of the second nuclear attack. On a double stroke of luck, he managed to live through this and continued to live a long, healthy life until he passed in 2010. Sometimes bad things happen. For Bill Morgan, it was when he was tragically crushed in a truck accident, clinically dead for more than 14 minutes. He somehow managed to not only survive, but also awake from 12 days of being in a coma, even after his family unplugged life support. To celebrate his lucky survival, Bill Morgan bought a scratch-it card and won a $27,000 car. Intrigued by the story, a local news station asked him to reenact his winning moment with a new scratch-it, where he then shockingly won $250,000 during his live reenactment. The first recorded physical attack on a president was against Andrew Jackson in 1835. An unemployed house painter by the name of Richard Lawrence came locked and loaded ready to take out US President Andrew Jackson as he was leaving a funeral. Lawrence aimed his pistol and squeezed the trigger. It misfired, but Lawrence came prepared with a second pistol. He quickly took a second shot and it misfired again. The chances of this happening are 1 in 2 million. Legend has it that Jackson then beat Lawrence with his cane. Later on, both of Lawrence's pistols were tested, and they fired properly on the first try. Heavy rains caused a massive landslide last year in Taiwan, and one lucky motorist narrowly missed a giant boulder by inches when it slid down a Taiwanese mountain. In a clip captured on the dashboard camera of another car, you can see a massive chunk of rock break from the mountaintops before rolling all the way to the bottom and nearly crushing a man in his car. Amazingly, the driver wasn't injured in this act of godlike natural disaster, and their narrow, heart-stopping escape was caught and posted online, where it accumulated millions of views across the web. Indiana native Robert Hamilton won the Hoosier Lottery's top prize of $1 million, not once, but twice, with the odds of winning the Hoosiers' top prize being 1 in more than 2 million. Hamilton's double win is, as he says, icing on the cake. If you'd like some advice, while he won't give up his own, Hamilton says he plays the same numbers every time. While on the job, Brazilian construction worker Eduardo Leite had a 1.8-meter-long iron bar fall from the 5th floor of the building. The bar not only pierced through his protective hard hat, but also speared through his skull before exiting between his eyes. Luckily, not only did the Brazilian survive, but he also felt no pain. By chance, the iron bar did not cleave through any major function-holding parts of the brain, and Eduardo is expected to make a full recovery. Cuba's counterintelligence agency has estimated that Fidel Castro has survived over 630 assassination attempts, a number of which were planned and employed by the US CIA, numerous mafia members, his own mistress, and many others. Fidel survived cigars poisoned with botulinum toxin, exploding cigars, a radio laced with LSD, hidden poisonous hypodermic needles filled with lethal concoctions, and much more. Nichiren was a prominent 12th century monk who was sentenced to execution for having written a treatise that Japanese authorities considered subversive and undermining of their authority. By pure luck, Nichiren managed to escape his own beheading when the executioner was struck and killed by lightning from above upon raising his sword. Nichiren was ultimately released by authorities due to the incredulous nature of the situation. Franz Helak is a Croatian music teacher who has escaped death 7 miraculous times. His story is so incredible that we've even featured him in other videos prior to this one. Helak's encounters with death began in 1962 when a train he was riding crashed into a freezing canyon river. He managed to continue his lucky streak when he subsequently survived a crashing airplane, being hit by a bus, and being a passenger of not only a bus falling off a bridge, but 2 burning cars, and a devastating car crash launching him over the side of a cliff. Since then, his luck has changed from surviving to winning, when in 2002 he won the $1 million Croatian National Lottery, which he used to buy a small chapel to thank God for all of his fortunes.